This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so did you enjoy the homework?
Yes, I did.
We are getting echo from you, so I think you have tried to revise. That's the reason. So you have to take that volume down on one of that device. Okay, so the thing is, the reason behind the homework is to understanding what we are doing and what kind of question you might get in the interview. So if you are if you are able to answer that questions, that means that it will be easy for you to get ready with that interview as well. And I also told you to pick one of the any company, like any website for like practice. So some of you did and sent me the name, and I gave extra task based on that, just to create the step. That's it. It's nothing like extra. I didn't give any extra work. It's just like create the steps for that. So if you did not have done that yet, choose any company. You can send me the company name later, and then based on that website, I will check, and then I will give you some task. There's just one extra task, like create the steps to test anything. Okay, and do you have any question from the previous session? Anything that you didn't understand, or anything that we need to go through again? No. Okay. So some of you have used home buying. So I got from two of you that they are trying to use that example of home buying in that SDLC. So let me clear that part. So when you are thinking you need to buy a home, then you are in the phase of requirement gathering. So we can discuss on that. So if anyone wants to discuss, they can really discuss and join and discuss with me. So first of all, you have to gather the information. So what kind of home you need, what will be the size of that home, so what will be the bedrooms. These are the things that will be comes to under like requirement. And after that, it comes to the analysis part, where you have to analyze that which place it will be better. Do you have enough like a shopping mall in nearby? Do you have that like a preschool zone or not? So you have like a couple of things to think, right? It's just not like you are picking one house and then based on that you are like doing that analysis. So you are picking a couple of houses, and based on that you are doing the analysis now. Okay, now after the analysis you need to do the design. So when you are analysis, and then in that analysis part you are checking, you are trying to see that what are the things, what are the environments you have. In the design part, you are basically checking that are they like fulfilling your requirement or not. So you are asking for 2 bedroom apartment, but it's not like in a 2 bedroom in the same floor. So it's kind of like a design part. So your design is like in this floor it will be in the third floor it will be like 2 bedrooms, second floor it will be like 2 more bedrooms. So it's kind of like design. Now the part of development, you are basically developing. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Ravi, is it okay?
No, I
Someone
think I'm
wants.
fine. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, so in the development part, you are developing a house by yourself, or you are giving, or you are actually like buying that house. That is kind of like development. So when you are buying that, the house is already built, and you are going to buy that. So there is nothing to develop, but still you are developing it by confirming it. After that, when you are testing it, so the first, when you are like developing part, you are confirmed that you are going to take that house. So you will go and check if everything is in place or not. If is there anything that you don't like and they have to change it, or based on that, you should not go to that house. You should not move into that house. So that is kind of like testing. And after the testing part is done, and the deployment. The deployment is like you are buying that house. So if anyone else have any like suggestion on this example, they can easily go ahead and then give me some suggestion on that. I know that some of the part maybe I'm not like giving you that whole idea, but if you have any idea, you can share with us. Anyone? No? Okay. So right now we are done with that SDLC phases, and then we are also done with the waterfall. Then I started this Agile. This is the Agile, and today's session is basically based on Agile. So we will learn everything about the Agile today. Okay. So first of all, you need to understand that what is Agile. So Agile is one of the methodology that we have in SDLC, and in Agile we follow like in within 10 days, like 2 weeks, if one is sprint. We follow all the phases of Agile. Okay, so it's not like waterfall where each and after each and every phase we have to move to the other phase. So each phase is depending on the another one. No, and it's not like it will take like 1 year or 2 years to provide some output to the client. It's kind of like after every um, 2 weeks we give some demo, and also after 4 sprint or 6 sprint, depends on the project, there is a release so that the client can see something or the customer can see something. Okay, so this is basically the Agile where we have to work in very small pieces, like small tasks. We have to divide the tasks, divide the stories in a small pieces. And this is the one project, how it is divided. So first of all, a project is involved in designing and development an application for the client. So we have to start from there. And then each project is normally a few years long, which is true. Even though it's agile, it's like 2 3 years, or sometimes it's like 4 5 years project. Because sometimes if it is a very complex project, it takes like a lot of time to develop that. Then each year is divided into program implementation, that we say that after each like 2 months or 3 months we have a release. We have release means that we are providing something, some output to the client, the customer. So that's why this is called after each and every year, which is divided into like program implementation, which is called the PI. So this is one of the term that you will hear in that project. So PI. So in a PI is basically we say that in each and every PI it will be like 4 sprint or 6 sprint. So each and every PI will see some output, will provide some output to the client. Then after each every PI we have production deployment. So this is kind of a production, the release. And each PI has 4 to 6 sprint that I already told you, right? It's 2 to 3 months. Now come to this point is sprint usually 2 weeks each, right? So that is we know already. And beginning of each sprint we have like one meeting. So let's say that you are in a place, so you are going to work on something. You are going to work on sprint. So before you start working on a sprint, you have to do some like what is called do some planning, right? So how you will do that, who will be involved and what. So let's say that you are planning to go somewhere, right? Like any place. In that kind of situation you are thinking like who will go with you, how much time it will take, how you will go. So these are the things. So if it is like a 10-day vacation, so you will think like, okay, what we are going to do in these 10 days. Like first day is like we are going to that place, and these couple of days after that we're going to visit some places. So you are going to do some planning. Same thing goes here. In a sprint you have to do some planning, and for that reason we have a sprint planning meeting. Okay, so what you are going to do, how much time it's gonna take, so we need to do that kind of planning. And for each and every story that the developers or tester is going to work, they have to assign some points. So the points things is depend on the project. For some projects they go until up to like 5, for some they go up to 8. So it depends. So they basically what they do is they divide the time like 10 days. In one sprint is a 10 days. So it's a 10 days. Let me do the calculation here. So let me show you here. In 10 days, how many hours we have? 40 hours, right? 8 hours a day, right? 8 hours a day. 8 hours a day. So in total it's 80 hours, right? So now they are going to divide the task like in that hours. So if someone is taking one task for, let's say that highest point is with 8, basically that person is going to take a longer time to finish that one. So this hours will explain more in the details in the later point of like slides, but I'm just giving you the idea. So why we have this point system. If it is like 1 point, it will be like a couple of hours work. If it is a 2 pointer, like it will take like a day. If it is a 3 pointer, then it will take like 2 to 3 days. If it is like 5 pointers, so they skip 4. If it is until 8, they skip 4, then 6, 7. So it depends. Again, everything depends on the project. So you have to go and uh, try to understand that what approach they are following. It's not like all the projects follow the same rule. Some project their highest point is 5. Some projects have like 8. So it depends. So if you just understand that, okay, so their thing is in this project, 1 pointer means 1 to 2 hours. 2 pointer means almost a day it's gonna take to complete that task. 3 is basically will take 2 to 3 days. So and it goes like 5 for like 3 or 4 days, and 8 like almost like 6 to 7 days. Okay, so it depends. The days and the point is depend on the project. But if you have the idea, okay, so if I need to create a project, okay, let me check if I have this one here or not in the board.
Sorry for that. Can I
Yes.
have a little bit more clear?
Okay, but you are echoing, so I'll give you the more idea. Just give me a second. Where is that? Okay, it's not showing here. No problem. Let me show it here. Okay. It's not showing here. Let me open a new one. Okay, it's not here for the bug. Let me check in that story or task. Okay, it's not here as well. So story. So it's something like it will be kind of like this text box where you have to put that story points. It will be something like this story point. Instead of summary, you will see something like here. It's called story points. I will check that if I can add that feature here or not. But it's kind of like a story point, and for that field, you have to provide how much time it's gonna take. What will be the point for that one? But let me give you that one some few more idea about this one. So as I said that the stories, right, that you have the task that you have to work in one task. In one task, this let's say there are like the developer took this pick this three tasks or this three story, okay, to work in a spring one. Now the developer need to mention that how much time it's gonna take for complete the first one, then how much time it's gonna take to complete the second, and how much time it's gonna take to complete the third. So based on that, basically they are taking the stories. It's not like they can take all these stories because they will not have enough time to do that. That's why they are separating the task in the different sprint. So we have a backlog. In backlog, we have a 10 task, but the developer didn't take 10 tasks in the sprint one, only three, because the developer knows that how much time it's gonna take to complete these three tasks. And based on that, developer choose only these three for this sprint one. Then the developer thought, okay, so this two is a very big story, is a complex task to complete. So I will take only two in this sprint two. So based on the task, they will take it and they will put some point. Let's say that if I have these three, then I will give like 3 5s here. All the stories for this one, all the tasks for this one will take like 5 point each. For sprint 2, this one I will give like 8 point each because these are like very big to complete, so I will give 8 point each. So you got the point. So based on the task, based on the complexity, based on the time it's gonna take, so you have to assume that. It's not like you after you complete that, then you can put the points. It's kind of like you have to assume how much time it's gonna take, and based on that, you have to provide the points. So we'll come to that like points later in details. But right now, if you just understand, we have to do some planning for the sprint. How much, what task we are going to do, who is going to do what, and how you are going to achieve that task, complete that task. Okay, so that is why we have this sprint planning meeting. And end of each sprint, we have a sprint review meeting. It's kind of like this. Where is that? Okay. Each sprint, after each sprint, we have to review. Did the developer have done all the tasks? So we have to do some review. If the developer, let's say this, for example, if the developer only completed these two, then the developer needs to move this story, the third story of the task, to the next sprint, right? So to do these things, we need a meeting. To review this sprint, we need a meeting, and we call that meeting as a sprint review meeting. So two meetings. One is sprint planning meeting that we do before the sprint starts, that what we are going to do, or it's basically the first day of the sprint that we do, like what we are going to do in that sprint. And in the last day of the sprint, we check that how much we have completed, how many tasks we have completed. So we do that kind of review in the sprint review meeting. Okay, so we have two meetings. Still we have like a one extra slide for that, but I'm going through this one. So in the next, when we get that slide, I will ask you some question. Okay, so demo to the client. So same in the same meeting, the sprint review meeting, we give the demo. We give the demo, and sometime If the client doesn't want to get that demo for each and every sprint, what they do is they give the demo in the last sprint here in the sprint 4, because in the sprint 4 is the summary of all of your work in that release. Basically, all of the works of the sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3, and sprint 4. So in the end of the sprint 4, the client is getting something. So before they getting something, the developers will give the demo. Okay, so we worked on these things, or we worked on these items. So verify that did you complete your did you fulfill your requirement or not. So for that kind of thing, we have a demo. Okay. Okay. And then we have a client accept or decline stories that are demo. So if the developer have successfully done with the demo and there is no question, there is no issue, then the client will accept that. But if there is any issue, then the client will not accept that, and they have to work on it again in the next sprint or the next release. Retrospective. So this is one of the meeting that we do like after each and every sprint to it's yes, it's usually each and every sprint we do that. So it's a retrospective meeting. It's like we want to know from the team that what went well, what we can do better, and what is the one, what went well, what did not go well, and what we can do better. Yeah, what did not go well. So these are the three questions that the Scrum Master will ask to each and every team member, and you have to provide the input. So it's not mandatory, but if you want, you can participate and you can provide some input here. And it's not mandatory you have to answer all of this. If you want to answer only one, then it's fine, because from your perspective you might see like everything went well, so that's fine. Okay, let's say that you are a tester, you have tested successfully everything and there is no issue, there is no bug, so you can say that everything went well, there is no issue found in this sprint. Okay, so these are the things that you can tell in that meeting, and this meeting we call retrospective meeting. And this one, daily stand-up meeting. So it's this meeting basically held in every morning for 10 to 15 minutes. Every morning, 10 to 15 minutes, all the team members join that meeting and give their update. So what they did in the yesterday, what they're going to do today, and is there any roadblocker or showstopper or not. So they have to answer these three questions. Okay, so for example, you are a tester. So you need to tell them that what you tested yesterday, in which story that you were working on yesterday, and then if you're done with that, then you have to tell them that I'm going to work in this story, like give them the story name or story number. So I'm going to work on this story, and I don't have any issue, I don't have any roadblocker. Okay, or if you have any issue, then you have to explain that. Okay, so when I was testing yesterday this story, I got this issue. Because of that, I was not able to test that, so I need some help. So these are the things that we discussed in that stand-up meeting. But if your conversation goes like more than like 2 to 3 minutes, then Scrum Master will tell you, okay, so can you please take that to the parking lot. So this is the special term that that the people use in that Agile, because that stand-up meeting is only for 10 to 15 minutes, and within 10 to 15 minutes they have to take the input from all the team members. If it is like 10 to 12 team members, they have to take all the team members input in that within that time. And that's why if there is any conversation which is like goes more than like 2 to 3 minutes, they tell them, the people who are like involved in that conversation or discussion, they tell them to keep that in a parking lot. Parking lot means that they will connect later and then they will talk. Okay, they will connect separately. For example, here I have like 12, right? 12% here. And for example, like Fawad and Safreen, this one is Fawad is a developer, Safreen is a tester, and Safreen found some issue and she is describing about the issue. Now it's taking too much time. So as a Scrum Master, I can tell them that okay, so can you please take that to the parking lot? So what they will do, they will connect later only like the meeting will be between only with them, or if that is something like I have to involve or the product owner have to involve, so they also the whoever is responsible, whoever is connected with that story, they all have to join in a different meeting and they have to talk. Okay, so this is the terms they use in Agile, that is stand up, that is scrum meeting, and if there is any issue which goes like more than 2 to 3 minutes, that goes to the partner. Do you have any question here? No questions. Okay. So, which means like you are understanding what we are doing, right? Because this is the main part. If from the manual testing part, usually they ask question from the agile. What you do, what are these things, what are the meetings? They will ask these kind of things, which is fine. It is very like simple thing if you just understand. Okay, so this is the agile process of how it works. Okay, again, the same thing goes here. Initiate the project or define the requirements. So it's starting from here, then the development cycle. So it will be like kind of like for you will be like confusing right now, but you will understand once I go like couple of slides later forward here, then you will understand that. But let me give you the idea and I'll come back to this slide again. So initiate the project, define the requirement. So basically, let's say that we are starting here. So we are defining the requirement. It's a sprint backlog. And after the sprint planning meeting is done, they started this development. So when the development is started, so we also have to perform the testing, and we also have to perform the integration and integrate with the different application if we need to. And then we have to test it. After that we have to review, we have to do the feedback, and here comes like the people who is continuously checking this one, so who is reviewing this, who is doing the feedback, and then they will check if it is like acceptable or not. If it is acceptable, then they will release to the market, but if it is not, then it will go back to here, record and incorporate changes. So as I said that in agile, the client or the business analyst, they can make some changes in the requirement, right? After, even though after your work is done, you give them that you deliver the product, but after you deliver the product, the client or the business analyst did not like that, so based on that they can make some changes, adjustment, they can make some adjustment. So they can do that here, and then after that it's adjust and track, and then they send it to the next iteration. Next iteration here means that next sprint. Okay, so this is the basic agile development, how it works in each and every sprint. Okay, so each and every sprint we don't like release to the market. It's like this release to the market is for the after each and every release, like after each and every 4 or 6 months, sorry, 4 or 6 sprints. Okay, so this is the agile scrum team. So how it looks like, there is product owner, and this product owner is basically gathering that the requirement from the end user or who is the expert in this domain. Expert means that like let's say that I have a good idea about the like online shopping, so I can become a domain expert. So this domain expert also called as like SME, like subject matter expert. So this product owner will get the idea from these end users or the SMEs or domain expert. And here under this product owner, we have a Scrum Master, and we have this team that's developer, QA, developer, architect, business analyst, all this. So here, your portion is here. This is working as a QA. Okay, and basically this product owner is responsible for this team and provide the update to the business owner. Let's say that this one, Amazon.com. In Amazon.com, what we are doing, as I said before, this is a bestseller, but Amazon is a one single we know that this Amazon is owned by someone, right? But under this Amazon, we have a lot of features like bestsellers, Amazon Basics, customer service. As I told you before, this all of the things like you see here on the top is basically each every topic is a different project. So for each and every project, they have a product owner, and all this product owner is basically reporting to that business owner. There will be like a different positions like vice president. So you don't need to go president. You don't need to go to that part. If you just understand that there is a product owner who is responsible each and every project, and that product owner is basically responsible for your team and report to the other person, the managers or the business owner, someone like that. Okay, then this is basically the how the scrum meeting looks like, daily stand up look like. So here everyone is standing up, and there is a board you see in the background. So we don't have that kind of thing usually, but what we do, we have a meeting room, we sit together, and then the scrum master just share his or her screen in the big monitor or the projector, and then the person asks the update for the stories that are in the screen or that are going to work on. Okay, so that is basically the stand up how the look like. But like projects, basically they follow these rules, they gather together, stand up all everyone, and then get the update. That's it. Definition: to move quickly and easily, which is true that because this meeting is only for 10 to 15 minutes meeting. So in software, methodology used to develop software and manage Scrum teams. So it's fine, the same thing, like develop the software, and that's why we need this agile methodology, and that's why we need doing this Scrum meeting to get the update. Scrum teams, and then here comes the agile model. So these are the like sprint that we are talking about. So start from here, sprint planning, and from the sprint planning the developer is start developing. After the developer is development is done, then we start testing. Once the testing is done, then we do the demo. That basically the developers does the demo, and then when it's done, then it goes to the next sprint. So it's continuous process. See that it's a continuous process. So each and every sprint we have a deployment. Okay. Okay. Ah, I know it's like a boring thing that I'm doing, like going over the slides. Let's do this slide, and then we'll check, like we'll do some hands-on practice. Okay, we'll come to this plan meeting later. Let's do only this slide before we do some practice. So Agile is a methodology that promotes continuous iteration. You see that why it says continuous iteration? Because we follow this one, we follow these like phases of SDLC in each and every sprint, and each and every sprint is only like for 10 days, right? So that's why it's like a continuous iteration, it says. and testing throughout the software development lifecycle of the project. Both development and testing activities are concurrent, unlike the waterfall model. You see that? So here, the developer is developing. In the meantime, testers are testing. And in the waterfall, after the development is done, only then tester can start testing. And if they find an issue, then they will only um, fix that issue. But here, after the development is done, they are testing it. If they find it any issue, they are fixing it, and then they are moving to the next sprint, which is like after like couple of days, right? After a week, they start a new thing. They start a new task, and then testers are testing it. Scrum. A Scrum Master is a team leader and facilitator who helps the team members to follow agile practices so that they can meet their commitments. So before each and every release, before each and every sprint, we have to make some commitment. Like, okay, so I will take 5 stories to work on. So you are doing some kind of like commitment that you will complete these 5 stories, right? So this is your commitment. But if in case if you are not able to complete that, which is fine, they will understand that, because sometime you feel like this story will be like you will complete within like 1 day. But what happen is you have some dependency. So dependency means that the task you are doing is basically depends on some other task, and if the task is not complete, then you will not be able to test that. They can understand that. If you give them some the reason why you are not able to complete that, then it's fine. What they will do, they will move that task or the story to the next sprint. That's it. But at least you have to make some commitment. Okay. Okay, so let's do some practice now. It's time to practice. Let me close this one because it's not working. I don't know why, but this part is not working. Why is that? Okay, let me check if I can open another tab. Something happened to this GoToMeeting, so I'm not able to access this tab from the top. Okay, so this is Amazon.com, and let's try to do something. Try to create some steps, and based on that, we will add something more. Not only steps, something more on that test case. So this is called test case that we're going to create. Okay. Let's say that I'm going to test this test case Amazon Basics. Once I'm here in this page, no, let me go back to the page. I need something like what happened here? Okay, now it's good. Okay, let's go to this pharmacy today. So pharmacy, let's click on the pharmacy, and then it's not loading. Is this a problem in my side only? Are you facing the same issue in the Amazon.com?
Today is the Amazon Prime Day. Maybe lots of user is using the website, so that's why it's getting little slow.
Okay, that might be the reason. So in that case, we are not going to follow this website. Let's try to go to this website. This is the website. Let me share this URL with all of you so that you can do some practice. Okay, so this is a website. We also will use this website for our automation practice. We will do our scripting for this website as well. So let's go to this website and check that if we able to like create some test case like steps or not. Okay. So once I'm here in this page, then I will click on this sign in. Then it will take me to this sign in page where if I have any username and password registered, then I can enter. If not, then I have to create an account, right? So let's just do this one. Just enter any email address and then click on create an account. Once you click on create an account, it will show you this kind of page where you have to insert some information, that is your information like first name, last name, date of birth, address, phone number. So these are the information that you have to provide. Once you provide this information, you will be able to register. So don't click on the register because we don't want to do that. It's fine. If you want to do that, it's fine. You will also be able to log in with that username and password, but let's not do that. Let's do one thing. We will check if we are able to get come to this page or not. Okay, so we have to write the steps to get into this page until to this page. Okay, so again follow this step again what I'm doing here. So this is my home page. This is my home page. Once I am landing in the home page, I have to click on this sign in. I have to click on this sign in. Once I click on the sign in, then I have to provide any email address here and click on create an account. Okay, it's already created, so create an account. Once I click on create an account, it will take me to this page where it says that create an account header, right? So we'll verify until this point. We'll not insert any information here. Okay, let's do it. So to do that, you have only like 11 minutes. Okay, you just need to write the steps only. That's it, nothing else. You got the requirement?
Can you repeat one more time, please?
Yes. So you have to write the steps for this. This is I'm calling this one as a test case. So you have to write a test case to validate this page is available or not. This page is create an account page is available or not. How you will validate that? You are here in the home page. So the URL I share, once you click on that, it will take you to this website. This is your home page. You have to click sign in. Once you click on sign in, it will take you to this sign in page, authentication page. Once you're inserting any email address, then click on create an account. Then it will take you to this page where it says that create an account. The header is create an account. If you are able to see it, that means you are done. So you have to write these steps until this point. Once you're done, you can share that steps with me privately. Instead of writing in this way, this is kind of like paragraph way that you wrote. So you have to write in steps like 1, 2, 3, 4, like that.
You want us to write 1, 2, 3, 4, or you don't?
I want.
Okay.
So I just got a submission that is kind of like a story, like not like steps. So that's why I just suggested that to write that in a, like steps, one by one. Okay, I got one more submission. Yeah, two submissions, three submissions. Okay, let me check. Okay, Anik, you are almost there. I will share my comments. Like, just give me a minute. Using okay, Anila. So Anila, your steps are arrived. Mm, Safrin, you missed one thing. On the authentication page, click on create an account, but you have to, your step 4 will be step 3, and then step 3 should be step 4. And last one from beauty, that is internal address, register personal information. Okay. Browser will click on sign. Checking description. Okay. Okay, so you are almost there. Like you just need to modify something from your steps. Okay. From starting from Onyx. So we were almost there. The document account, right? This is the tab. Click on verify the credit account page or not. So you don't need the last line. Last line is basically you are already validating that if that is create an account page or not. So that is basically pass or fail. So that's why you don't need the last step. And here, other than that, everything looks good. Okay, so almost everyone submitted, which is fine. So let me create here in my side. Okay, so let's do it. So first of all, the first thing that I need to do is I have to open a browser, right? It can be like Chrome, it can be Firefox, but in most of the cases, in most of the project, everyone, the developers, the testers, they use Chrome. Okay, so you can also use the Chrome or you can use another browser, which is fine, but mostly everyone is using Chrome. So I will also use Chrome here. So open Chrome browser. Then second step is I have to go to that specific page, right? So I have to type go to or navigate to. So it's up to you. So whichever you want to write here, go to or navigate to which page? This one. automationpractice.com. Okay, once I'm here, then I have to click sign in. Click on sign in. The third step is once you click on the sign in, it will take you to this page, right? It will take you to the authentication page. So this step to verify this page is like not mandatory, but if you want, you can also add the validation of this page here. Okay, so okay, this is 4. Okay, I will not validate here right now. I'll just insert that email address here. Insert email address. So this is we call text box. This is a box where you can type some text. So we call that as text box. Okay. So what is that? Text box. Insert email address in email address text box. Insert an email address in the email address text box. And fifth is I got one more. Okay, so okay, and yes, Naseet, that is correct. So let me complete mine. After the insert an email address in the email address text box, I have to click on the create an account. Create an account button. So this is we call button. You see this? This is a button. And the sign in that we clicked here in the beginning, that is basically a link, but you can also call for now. If you think like it's very complicated, just keep it like call that as like button, which is also fine. Okay. So click on the create an account button. Once I click on this create an account button, this create an account page should be available, right? Create an account page should be available, right? These is the steps, right? If you some people create it in different way, but that is also correct. Okay, but if I want to create, I will create in this way. But if you want to create in your own way, which is also fine, it doesn't matter actually. Okay, now after this, what else we need to add here for this document? So let's go and create an Excel sheet here. So basically we will write the Excel sheet here. We will work on the Excel sheet. If you don't have the Excel sheet, try to install that in your computer. And because if you are you have to write the manual test cases, either you will be writing in Excel sheet or you will be writing in Jira. If you have to write in the Excel sheet, then you need to know at least something about the Excel sheet. It's very simple. You don't need to understand the whole application. You just need to understand how you will write it. That's it, nothing else. Okay, so here what we did, this I told you to create the steps, right? These are my steps. Okay, just copy this, paste it. So these are my steps, right? We call this not only steps, it's a test steps. Okay, so this is one of the test steps. Now, do you need any data for any of these steps? Can anyone tell me? Do you need any data, like anything, like email address, password, URL? Do I need any data here? Like any information that we need to pass in that website?
Sorry, which data are we talking about? We have to just follow this type steps over here.
Yes. So are you inserting any data here? Let me show you. So once we are here in this home page, then we are clicking on this sign in. And after clicking on this sign in, it's taking us here, this authentication page, where we have to insert an email address.
Yes, this
Okay.
is our own personal data. Email address might be date of birth or like so
This is
last
the
four
data,
digit of
right?
social, etc.
Yeah, this is the data, right? So because this is the data that you are going to use in your test, that's why you call that as test data.
Okay, got it.
Okay. So in this case, we need email address. So let's create one more. Let's do this one. So once you are here, once you click on the top of this column, click on insert here. Then it will create one extra column before that column that you just created test step. So what we need a test data. So data you are going to use in the test is called test data. And which test data we are going to use? We need email address. Email address is something at the rate gmail.com. So this is my test data. Sometimes you also consider this URL is also test data. Sometimes, but usually you can just keep it here, which is also fine. Okay, now I have the test data, I have the test step. So what you are going to test here? What is this functionality is about? We are going to test this page, right? Am I right? We're going to test this page if the test is if this page is available or not. So this is basically checking the functionality of this create an account page, like availability of the create an account page, right? Just checking the availability. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. So in that kind of situation, we need to have one more column, and that is called description. Description. Okay, we'll create the description later. Let's create the name of the test case. So what will be the test case name? Test case name test case name. So here the test case name is validating the availability of, what is the page? Create an account. You got it? So I need one column that is for test case, and that is what you are going to test. So this test case name is validating the availability of create an account page. So you're trying to validate that page is available or not, that page is showing or not. That's it. That is your test case. Then this is your test data that you are going to use to validate that page is available or not. And these are the steps you are going to follow. Now, tell me one thing. What can be the description of this page, of this test? Description. Test case description. It's up to you. Whatever the description you want to write, it will be something like this. So if you want, you can create your own. If you want, you can also follow this one. It's up to you basically. Once user, I'm giving some like details. Once user insert any email address, then user should be navigated to which page? Create an account page, right? Create an account page. So this is my description. Let me keep it in that text. So this is my description. This is a test case name that will be a summary of the test that you're going to perform. This is the description. This is the test data you are going to use in that test, and this is the steps. Now tell me, this test passed or failed?
It's pass.
It passed, right? So
Right.
I will tell this one in this column is passed. That's it. I'm not done yet. We are not we have not created any test case like proper test case document yet. But these are the at least basic something that you need to know about the test case, like test case name, test case description, test data, test steps, and its passed or failed. If you have the Excel, okay, let's do one thing. Let's take a break, and then after the break, if you have that the Excel sheet, Excel application in your computer, just try to create this thing. Just try to create this thing so that if you are done, then just let me know that you are done. Then I will give you a small task to create another test case. Okay, for the next session. It will be a small task only, like only a couple of lines you have to write. That's it. So let's take a break, and once we come back, we will like take these steps, whatever the steps you created in wherever, like in Notepad or in Word document, you have to keep that in a Excel sheet in this format. Okay. Now let's take a break. We're going to take the break till 7 7:25 is fine. Yeah, sorry, 8:25 is fine. Let's take 2 minute extra break today.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so this is the document. This is the steps that I created before, and based on this, I just created one more document. This one, right? So I'm giving you around like 5 minutes to do that. You just need to copy and paste, nothing else. You just need to copy and paste. Okay, so let me make it. What is that? Test case name. Maybe something like this. Test case description, and then test data, and these are the steps. And after that, you have a last column that is password field. You just need to copy these steps, open an Excel sheet, and paste it here. Then that column name, you can keep this as a like test steps, because these are the steps that you have to use, that you have to follow to complete the test. Then for this test, I also have a test data. Test data means the data you are going to use in your test, the email address. We call that as a test data. It can be like password, email address. Okay. Test case description. So what is this test case about? So this is the summary, like what is this test case is, exactly what it means, and this is the description. And the last column is password fail. If you follow these steps and you are able to complete these steps, so are you able to like is this like are you able to see this page or not? So that is, if you are able to see this page, that means the test is passed. If you are not, then the test is failed. Okay. I hope it's not gonna take two more more than 2 minutes.
After that, should I have to send it to you by email, or I'll just keep it on my?
Just keep it, and then based on that, I will give you a task. So if you understand this part, like all these 5 columns, how to create this, then the task I will give you in the end of this class, you'll be able to do that, and you can submit that by email before the next session. It will be like
Okay.
a 15 minutes job.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Okay, it's 8:40. I hope you are done. So I hope you are done. So let's move forward.
1 more minute, please. I'm almost done.
1 more minute. Okay, no problem. Take your time.
Thanks.
Hmm, no problem.
I'm done. Thanks.
Okay, does anyone need more time to do that? Anyone else? No? Okay, so get done. So let's move forward to that the slides again that we have to complete. Then after that, I will give that task. Okay, so we understood that what is this agile model and methodologies is, and then what are agile scrum meetings? So these are the meetings that I already explained to you. That is the sprint planning meeting, daily stand-up meeting, sprint review meeting, retrospective meeting. So sprint planning meeting is the first meeting that we do, that how we are going to complete that sprint. So what will be the planning? So that is sprint planning. And every day we do this daily stand-up meeting. Then sprint review meeting is after each and every sprint, in the end of the sprint, last day of the sprint, we do this meeting that is called sprint review meeting. So we have to check that how we did that. Is there any thing that we have to move forward to the next sprint or not? So that is the thing. And there is one more meeting that is called retrospective meeting. So we have to talk about three things: what went well, what did not went well, go well, or what we can do better. So these are the three things that we discuss. So this is the Scrum is an agile framework that manages IT project. In recent years, it is the most famous methodology used for managing a software development project. So that we already know that most of the project they are using the agile methodology. And responsibility of Scrum team is defined in a way that team is self-driven and target-oriented, hence more chances to succeed. Okay, so basically we are following the Agile methodology, and we are using Scrum process of this methodology. So Agile ceremony are different practices carried out by teams that are implemented Agile, and you just need to understand these four meetings. And one more important thing, the day you have a sprint planning meeting or sprint review meeting, usually we don't have the daily stand-up on that days. Usually we don't have it because at that time we will be doing our planning. At that time we will be doing our review. So we will not do that daily stand-up only for that 2 days. Okay, so team satisfaction may need backlog refinement session. So there is one more session, one more meeting that is called backlog grooming meeting or backlog refinement meeting. So that is basically the whole team, the product owners, everyone who is like linked to that the project. They all come to that meeting, and they discuss about the backlog. They prioritize the task about from the backlog. Let's say that some tasks are the developers or Scrum team is thinking to do that after a couple of release, but the product owner comes and say, the manager comes and say that, okay, so you have to do that in next release. So they can prioritize the task. So we do that kind of thing in backlog refinement meeting. Okay, and this other thing that we covered. And what is daily stand-up? We already know that, right? So there is a meeting that is for 10 to 15 minutes meeting, and we have to answer these three questions. Okay. And you also know about that parking lot. If that this is the one parking lot that I was talking about. So example of Scrum daily stand-up meeting is each member provides their update. All the members team discuss any urgent issues. If there any issues comes like that, they have to discuss about. So they discuss that in the stand up. Anything that needs longer discussion goes to the parking lot. So that I say that if it goes more than like 2 3 minutes, and if they think that it needs some extra time, then they move that one to that parking lot. Okay, and basically this parking lot session is for the people who are linked to that issue or the task or the story. Sprint planning meeting. What we do in that sprint planning meeting? We do some planning, right? What we are going to do, right? So these are the thing. Purpose is to the plan the sprint effectively. So how we can we have to plan how we can complete our task effectively. So that we do in that meeting. Then who will join that meeting? Product owner and Scrum team. Scrum team here means that all the people from here, Scrum Master, Dev, Developer, QA, Architect, Business Analyst, all the people are from Scrum team. Okay, all the people join here in this sprint planning meeting. How long it takes? It takes like 1 to 2 hours based on the project complexity. So sometimes it takes 1 hour, sometimes it takes 2 hours. Why? Because in some cases they have to talk longer than usual about any task. So here we don't have any parking lot concept here. We need to talk about the task, because the developers sometimes need to talk about the task and or the stories with the product owner or the business analyst. They have to like make clarify that what they are going to do, how they are going to do, and that reason for that reason they take that long hours, 1 to 2 hours. And what you will do as a tester, you will listen to them. You will listen to them that how the developer is going to do, and you have to take how you are going to test and what will be the scope of your testing, like what kind of testing you will be performing, and what kind of testing will be performed for that test for the task. Okay, so that is the thing that you have to think as like a tester. It's not like you will sitting and you're just enjoying the meeting. No, so as a tester you also have to think how the developer is going to do. You don't need to understand anything about the developer, how they are going to do that. You just need to understand that what they're going to change, and how you will test it. That's it. When
Quick question.
yes.
Like as a tester, if I try to go to the parking lot frequently, is it going to be a good impact or bad impact for me?
It is not a good impact or bad impact. It's basically that you need to talk about something. You have an issue and you need to talk about. And if your Scrum Master think that you are taking longer than usual that about that issue, then they will say, okay, so you can proceed to the parking lot. You can talk about this issue with the developer separately.
Okay.
So it's fine. So it's not like you have an issue and you are not talking about, then you will be in trouble. They will
Yeah,
ask you in
that
the
this is the my thing. Like, if I have some kinds of confusing, like, what are we are supposed to do in the testing part, what is the changes is gonna be, that one I can
no
shortly
you
ask within 2-3 minutes
no
in the sprint planning meeting. But after that, I need to more time to elaborately discuss these things. Then I'll go to the parking lot.
no. So the parking lot concept is for the daily stand-up meeting.
Okay.
If you are taking longer than usual about the topic, then it goes to the parking lot only for the stand-up daily stand-up meeting. But in a planning meeting, you are involved with that. So you are talking with the developer. Hey, so you are going to do that task. So I know that you are taking like 3 or 4 days to complete that. So because it's a very complex thing that you are doing, so can I, if I take that one day for testing, is it fine? What do you think? So you can also talk with the developer. If you make some good relationship with the developer, you can ask the developer, so can I do that? Or if you are not comfortable, you can like you have to estimate by yourself. Okay, so if the developer is taking like 3 or 4 days, so for me it's gonna take like 1 to 2 days to test it. So you
Hmm.
have to think in that way. And sprint planning, that's why it takes 1 to 2 hours. So they or everyone discuss about everything here. So
Okay.
because after this one, you have to choose what task you have to do in your sprint, in your coming sprint. You cannot change anything, like you cannot say when the sprint starts the next day you say, okay, so I choose this task to do, but I believe I will not be able to do that, or some reason, can I take another story from the backlog? So that is a negative impact. That is a negative thing that you will be talking about in the meeting.
I have a question too.
Yes, Mohan.
Okay, so for the sprint planning meeting, it says who attends the meeting, right? So it's product owner and Scrum team. So in the Scrum team, are there like the Scrum master, project manager, of course the developers and testers also, but are the Scrum master and the project managers are in the Scrum team too, or no?
Project manager doesn't fall under the scrum team.
I didn't get you.
They,
You were kind of blocking up. I don't know. You're not
sorry,
coming.
project project manager doesn't fall under the Scrum team. They
Okay.
manage
How about?
they manage the
Uh-huh.
project, but they don't. They're not part of the Scrum team.
Okay. How about the Scrum master?
Scrum Master is definitely, because the Scrum Master is going to be update for each and every task that they are going to do,
I
right,
see.
in the sprint.
Right, right, right. Okay.
Because
So yeah.
that that is the person, that person is basically will get the update from that the developer, the testers, and based on that the person will talk about that. Okay, so you are taking longer than usual, so what is the thing that is blocking you? Can I help you in any way? Do you need any extra help? So these are the things that the scrum master asks the developers
Of
or the
course.
testers.
Okay. Gotcha. Thank you.
And the why the product owner joined this meeting is after this sprint, the product owner want to see that what kind of thing that you are going to develop in 10 days. So that's why this product owner joins in this meeting. Okay, so when this meeting happens, it happens in like every beginning of every sprint. The first day of the sprint, we do that sprint planning meeting. Okay. So you got the idea. So why we need this sprint planning meeting? Who are going to join this meeting? How long it takes, and when usually we do this sprint planning meeting. So why it takes that long? Because we have to plan carefully so that we can complete our task. So let's say that I have a 10 items in the backlog, and if I take all these 10 items to complete in this sprint, and if I'm not able to do that, so that is a negative impact. So you will take only that you can complete. So you have to estimate. If you're able to take 3, you can just take 3, which is fine. And when you are new, you are taking 2 or 3, they will understand that because you are new, you are learning that project, so they will understand that. But the time goes, like after 3 or 4 months, you will be able to pick like 3 or 4, 4 or 5 based on the capacity. Okay, so let's move forward to the one. What is sprint planning? Again, the same thing. An agile ceremony held by the development team, scrum master, and product owner. It is held to the beginning of a new sprint. That I say the first day of the sprint, and usually on that day we don't have any daily stand-up, with the purpose of setting up the prioritized work list and aligning the entire team for success. So basically what they need to know is whatever the task is going to assign in the sprint, everyone should complete that. In that way, they will the product owners see that this team is capable of whatever they are estimating, whatever they are what is called uh, I forget the word. So what is their estimating for? Okay. The product owner will discuss a prioritized backlog with the development team. If the product owner, let's say that, as I mentioned earlier, something is going to develop later, the developer thought that we can do that later, or the team thought that, the item or the task we can do it later, but the product owner wants it now. So what the product owner will do, the product owner will prioritize the task from the backlog. You see that? Prioritize the backlog with the development team, and whole group jointly comes up with the amount of effort to involve. So they will do that effort. All the people will give that effort to complete that task. The team then decide how much of the work from the backlog can be completed in that iteration. So it's the same thing. So you have to estimate that how much work you can do within that period of time. So that means that in 10 days, the developer will work for 8 days, and then you will get 2 days for testing, but you will not sit idle for this 8 days. You will be writing some document. You will be creating some document. You will be like follow up with the developers. You will be like, if there is any task is completed by the developer within like 2 to 3 days, you are testing it. So you're continuously involved in the process. And last one, sprint planning meeting lasts about 1 to 2 hours, that we talk about here. Okay. Then once your sprint is done, once you're in the 10th day, the last day of the sprint, so we do this sprint review meeting. And again, on this day, we don't have any stand-up meeting. So on this day, we have a sprint review meeting. We talk about that whatever the work we did, our accomplishment. Okay. So purpose of this meeting is to present completed work from the last sprint. So whatever the work we have done, we will present that. Who will be joining in this meeting? Usually the stakeholder doesn't like join this meeting. The product owner join this meeting, but in the release planning, like PI planning meeting, the stakeholder join this meeting. And usually if it is like a release and if there is like a demo, then the stakeholder join that meeting to see what kind of products they are going to have after this release. How long it takes? It takes around like 2 to 4 days, 2 to 4 hours. And why is that? Because there might be some demo. So after completing the task, developer want to show their work. Even you as a tester, if you have completed any automation script, you can also show them that, okay, so I have completed 10 script in this sprint, so I want to do the demo. You can do that. So it's gonna take some time to do this demo, right? So that's why this sprint review meeting takes that long. When end of each sprint, like the last day of the sprint, we do this sprint review meeting. So these are the two meetings that usually we do in like in Agile Scrum. Again, the same thing. So I'm not going over the same thing again because we already have done here. The same thing is elaborated in the next slide here, and I will share this slide with all of you. I'm just making some adjustment, like making some update here in the slides. After that, I will share that with you. Okay, now sprint retrospective. Retrospective is, I already told you, we are going to answer 3 questions. What went well? What did not go well? What we will do better going forward? So as a tester, you might be thinking that what answer you will provide here, right? So let's say that you didn't find any defect. The work the developer has done, everything is smooth and there is no issue. We didn't find any issues. So you can say that this time there is no defect. Defect free. We are able to create defect free product. So you can say that something like that. Now, what did not go well? So if you find like more than 10 bugs, like in like couple of days, which is like concerning, right? So you can say that it's like getting too many bugs, which is concerning. Like developers need to, if you just they say that concerning, then the Scrum Master would going to say that, okay, developer needs to be more focused, more careful about this, something like that. So they will discuss about this. And what will do better going forward? So let's say that you are missing one team member, you need a team member, without that you are like having trouble of completing your task. So you can tell them that we need one more manual tester or one more automation tester, something like that. It's not like your part, like you have to have tell something. I'm just giving you an example. Okay. Or if you say that let's say that the developer worked till 9th day, the last before the last day, and you got just only 1 day for testing, you can say that the developer should complete the task by 8th day of the sprint, so that the testers can get enough time for testing. So that is the thing that you can say in what we will do better going forward. Okay, now go back to this the first one. Time set aside to reflect or look back in previous Scrum. So usually they check what was their previous retrospective. Did they followed everything, whatever they suggested in the previous retrospective? They just check it. They just check that whatever they did in the previous one. Why always opportunity to improve? Why you need this meeting? Because if I'm talking about something very important, which I did not mention anything in the any meeting, and here they took that note and they try to follow up and try to improve. Okay, that's why we have this sprint retrospective meeting. When end of each sprint, so it's like after that sprint review meeting, we have this sprint retrospective meeting. Okay, now it's example. What went well? A developer and tester completed task in time. No environment issues. So I will share this. I will give you some more idea about the environment later. And then great communication, and that's why you guys did a good job. So that went well. What didn't go well? So new team members were not up to date with our process. So let's say that new team members join and they are very new, they are not able to they're not in a speed to like work with you. So in that case you also have like putting some time to understand them and to give them some kt means that knowledge transfer. So you're doing that, so which means that you are losing your time. So that is something like didn't go well. Our scrum meeting went to over 30 minutes almost every day. So if it's a big team, sometimes it takes more than 30 minutes, but which is not, which is some scrum master strictly follow 10 to 15 minutes window. So if it is more than that, they don't go and they say that let's do the part now. But sometimes the scrum master allow to go till 30 minutes sometimes. So issue with the audio during our meeting, something like is like very uncommon things. What can we do better? Help new hires get up to date knowledge transfer sessions. So that I said that. So when a new hires come, we have to give some very good knowledge transfer sessions so that they will be speed up to us, right? Speed up with us so that they can help us. Keep Scrum short and precise. So you see this 30 minutes, which is not go well. So this is, we can do better. See that? Okay, knowledge transfer session. Usually in a project, you will hear KT session. KT means knowledge transfer. So the short form of knowledge transfer is KT. When you hear KT, don't like think that it's a new thing or new term they are using. What is KT session is basically someone, one or two person, or mostly one person will talk with you or sit with you one to one and give you the idea about the project, that what they are doing and what is his role or her role in that project. This is the KT session. Again, I know that you have some like question about the backlog. So this is the slide about the backlog. Backlog is the prioritized list of tasks that need to perform within a given time in a sprint or PI in a project. So we have like a project backlog, we have PI backlog, we have a sprint backlog, and I already gave you that example, right? So this is my main backlog, which is project backlog. Then from project backlog, the developer or the testers are taking like 10 backlog items and saying that, okay, we can complete that 10 within this next 4 sprint. Means that this release. So this is release backlog. And this release backlog also called that as PI backlog. If you remember that we use this term PI, product implementation, before, right? PI backlog, and then each and every sprint had a sprint backlog. Okay, let's go back. So this is need to perform within a given time. So this is the product backlog. All the stories are in product backlog that need to be complete. Then also we have a PI backlog, which is not here, but also we have that. And now it's sprint backlog that we are going to work in this sprint. Okay. Then backlog grooming. So this is another meeting that I already told you. Backlog is also called as backlog refinement meeting. So backlog grooming is basically is involved the product owner, sometimes stakeholders, and the Scrum team. They meet on, they sit together, and then they prioritize the backlog task. Meeting where the whole Scrum team grooms each story in the backlog. Product owner plays a big role here because the product owner will say that, okay, I need this one, I need that one first, I need to get this one in this release. So that person will take that and give you that priority. Grooming. Assign developer that will work on each story, assign story points. Here we assign the story points, looks into acceptance criteria as a team. So they have to check what acceptance criteria. I think I already explained that acceptance criteria, that in what criteria they have to fulfill to get that accepted by the product owner. So that is acceptance criteria. Prioritize the stories that will work on first. So that we already know is done by the product owner. We are almost done for today, just a couple of slides more. Okay, before that, do you have any question from these meetings?
Yes, I'm not sure. Uh, this is the thing. Is that all meeting have a tester? Have to have present. Like the last one we discussed, the backlog grooming. That one I
Mhm.
don't think so. The tester will be present over there. It is the product owner or all the Scrum masters are going to be over there. Is the tester
Uh,
will?
It's not like mandatory meeting for backlog grooming. Yeah, it's not mandatory for the testers, but they can join this meeting.
Okay.
Because the backlog grooming meeting is basically the Scrum team joins. Scrum teams, you are also like PK tester also falls on the Scrum team, but it's not mandatory.
Another last question. Uh, I know different project have the different issue and the tester have like a different time to complete those tasks. But is there any average time for a tester? Like this testing need to be done in 2 days or 3 days after the developer has been completed?
Usually we say that the eighth day is the code freezing day. That means that after the eighth day, the developer will not develop anything, will not add anything, and tester will perform the testing for next 2 days. So the in the 10 days in the sprint, first 8 days is for the developer and next 2 days is for the tester. But if the developer complete any task in like 2 to 3 days, testers can start testing.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Yes, Safin. So you say the ER, right? You cover story points further. Yes. So the story points I will show you in that Jira board, and you will get the idea how to do that. And the story point is basically is here is assigned the story points. So what they do is the product owner, the Scrum Master, and the developers they sit together for is usually for the backlog grooming. The testers sometimes join. It's not mandatory, but it's better to join. Why? Because the story points. Because when the developer is describing the idea that how that thing is going to develop, then it might be complex, it might be easy. If it is easy, it might be like 2 to 3 points. But if it is a complex, then it can be like 8 points. Look, when the developer is describing that how the dev is going to develop, then if you are as tester, you are going to test it, it will be a good idea to attend that meeting and understand that how the developer is going to develop. Because you have to test it, right? You might not be like understanding everything from that, but you will get at least some idea to test that story, how you are going to do that. It will help you to write some document. We'll see that later.
Okay.
Okay, you got that, Sapin? Okay. Okay, so let's do this one. This is Scrum practice. So in a sprint planning meeting, what we do, we do the product, we have a product backlog, team structure, and capabilities and business conditions. So this is not something like okay. So sprint planning. Sprint in sprint, what we have? Sprint backlog, uh, sprint burn down chart, 30 days plan. So this is not the 30 days plan we see usually. We see that sprint burn down chart. So the thing is, so I have to draw something to show you this one is been burned down, but I'll show you. I'll show you in the next session, but not today. It's 9:15 already. Daily 15. So daily Scrum meeting is I already told you it's daily 15 minutes status meeting, task discussion and impediments and decision makings. And sprint review meeting is review the meeting, review the sprint meeting, informal setup as and wait when required. So I don't think that we need this slide. So I have to update this one. I have to update this one. Okay, now this is a task for you. Okay, so when you see that whatever the answer is yours, you have to send me privately only to me. Okay, not with everyone. So the question is, what are the three roles in Scrum? What the people you think that falls under the Scrum team, Agile Scrum team? It can be A, B, C, or D. Even though if you are wrong, just send me the answer. I got one here. I got two, but don't share your answer with everyone. You can send it to me only. Okay, till now I got four answers. Anyone else wants to try? Just go for it, even though if you're wrong. Five, six. Okay, so I think we are done here. And the people who didn't answer, yeah, that is correct. Okay, most of the people answered correctly here. So let's check the answer. What are the three roles in Scrum? Scrum Master, definitely in the picture, right? In the Scrum team. Product Owner, also part of the Scrum team. Scrum development team, that is the developer, QA, architect, everyone is falls on the Scrum development team. That's why the answer is maybe A, but let's check with the other options. Scrum Master, Scrummer, we don't have any words, anything called like Scrummer. Then Scrum team, no, that is not correct. C, Project Manager. Project Manager is not a part of the Scrum team. Remember that. Project Manager is never a part of the Scrum team. Product owner is Scrum team, which is fine. Product owner, Agile team, project lead. Project lead is also not a part of team. So our answer is A, Scrum Master, Product owner, Scrum development team. Okay. Okay. We did a lot of tasks today. Do you have any question?
Yes. So the task that we did on the Excel sheet, and
Mhm.
did you say you're gonna send us a task first, then we email it to you, or we have to email it to you first?
No, I will give you a small task now. Based on that, you have to create this Excel sheet. Based on
Okay.
that, you have to create this Excel sheet, and in that Excel sheet, you will have test's name. So you have to give that name. Then you have to give this test's description, like whatever the test you are going to test. You have, just give some description, which is fine. Now,
Right.
if there is any test data you are going to use, then you have to have this column with test data. And if you don't have any test data, then keep this column but without any information here.
Yeah.
Okay. Then
Okay.
test steps that we already know, right? How to create this test. And
Right.
if you follow this test step, and if you are able to verify something, if you are able to verify the last step, that's when the test is passed. If you are not, if somewhere is in some step is failing, or the last page is not able to, like, it's not displaying, then the test will fail, right? And you have to write test page.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
so I will give you the task now.
Okay. And you also said that you emailed the task for the people who emailed you the name of the companies. Did you do it
Yes.
to? Yeah, okay. So I haven't received anything. So I don't know if I'm missing it.
You didn't receive anything?
No,
I
not for
replied
that.
to the email.
No, I haven't received it. So,
Okay, I'll check that then. I think I did that, but I'll check that. And
okay.
the
Thank you.
reason why I don't reply with receive, because I want to keep it like unread until I'm going to reply you back. Because in my reply, I will give you some feedback. And when there is an email with like a already read code, like sometimes I miss that. That's why I usually I don't reply back to the email.
Okay.
But it's
No, that's
fine.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
because
No,
that
thank.
helps me track to reply you back.
Oh,
Basically.
sure. No problem. Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. And any other question? Usually we don't do that. That is fine. We are done here. So we are going to start for this what is a story, user story and all these things from our next session. But let's do some, let me give you a task that you have to do, like you have to create the steps. You have to create this kind of like Excel sheet where you have test case name, test case description, test data, test steps, and password field. Okay, let's check it. uh, this website. Okay, so what you need to do is you have to go to this website. You have to go to this website, then you have to click on t-shirts. Then you will see, okay, there is only one t-shirt. Okay, no problem. So what you can do, you can click on add to cart. Once you click on add to cart, it will show you something like this. This is a confirmation of adding that cart. Okay, we have to verify that if this confirmation is showing or not. And then from here, you have to click on proceed to checkout. Once you click on proceed to checkout, you will see this the t-shirt that you selected, that you added to the cart, is showing here in the cart. Okay, and then you have to click on proceed to checkout. Once you click on the proceed to checkout, it's taking you here in the create an account page. So until this point, you're fine. Just do this one. Because we already know that you don't have any account. You only have seen this one, insert an email address, click on create an account, and it's taking you to that create a new account. But let's not do that. Let's see that if it's like coming to this page or not, because you are not logging into the system. That's why it's taking you to this page when you click on this checkout. Okay, let me show you again the step that I follow. Let me remove that one from here. Okay, so you have to write the steps on this. At first you are going to this page, then you are clicking on t-shirts, then it's taking you to that t-shirts page where you'll see only one t-shirt item here. Click on add to cart, then you'll see this alert, this pop-up or this alert which will say that product successfully added to your shopping cart. Then click on proceed to checkout. Then you are here in the shopping cart summary where you'll see your product here, the t-shirt here, item here, and then you have to click on proceed to checkout. Once you click on proceed to checkout, because you are not logged into the system, it will take you here in authentication page. Got it? You got your instruction? Now it's up to you that whatever the test case name you want to provide, what will be the description you want to provide, what is your test data here. Okay,
So this will be our second homework.
it's not your second homework. So You will get the full homework after 2 sessions. So this is a small task that I gave you, and
Okay.
this task will take around like 10 to 15 minutes maximum to complete that.
Should I do it now on the class, or should I email it to you just before the next class start?
Before the next session is fine.
Okay,
You
thank you.
don't need to do it now. Okay. Anyone else who didn't understand the requirement? All good. Okay. No problem. Okay, so if you don't have any question about the requirement that I gave it to you to create this Excel sheet, we are done for today, so you can leave. And whoever have issue or need to understand any topic, yeah, good night. Need to understand any topic, they can stay, and we'll, yes, thank you, and we'll continue our session. Alaikum assalam. Okay, yes, thank you. Yes, so does anyone need any help on any topic? No? Okay.